This is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA. In today's episode, we got a special guest in the house, NBA champ Glen Davis. Glen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Glen, I told you before, you are officially the youngest person that I ever had on the show. You're just 34, still looking good, still looking fresh, still in shape and all. How are you feeling at the moment?
I'm feeling good, man. Just trying to stay healthy, man. You know, this COVID thing has been crazy, so I'm just taking one day at a time, man, and just enjoying life.
All right. Now, you were born in 1986, so you were at the perfect age for 90s NBA basketball. Were you watching NBA basketball in the 90s?
Yes, I was a huge fan.
Yeah, who was your team?
My team back in the day was the Lakers, believe it or not.
Oh.
Because I was so in love with Shaq. When he went over to the Lakers after Orlando, like, I thought I was Shaq. You know what I mean? So, like,
I can see that.
I used to watch Shaq so much. It's ridiculous.
So, was he your favorite player then?
Yeah, back then he was, right? Because I thought I was going to be 7 foot. So it's like, okay, let me watch him because, you know, I'm already big as a young kid. I think I'm going to be like 6'10", 6'11". So I end up not growing, but I still love basketball. You know what I mean? End up being like 6'8", and then I was like, okay, what type of players, you know, are my size and my height, you know? And so I started to fall in love with like Anthony Mason, you know, Elton Brand, guys like that cater to my game.
Last question before we dive into your NBA career. Since you were a 90s kid, did you also play NBA Jam back in the days?
Oh, come on, man. Like, oh, my God, did I play NBA Jam? Like, that was like a must every day before school or after school, bro. Like that NBA Jam was kind of like the ignition to, like, wanting to play in the NBA.
Nice, man. Now, you were drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, but you didn't end up playing for the Sonics. Can you tell me what exactly happened? How did everything turn out the way it turned out?
You know, it's so crazy because I was, you know, '08 was kind of the big year for us. And I was traded from Seattle with Ray Allen in the deal. Basically, to sweeten up the deal, they got a second-round pick, and the Celtics wanted to choose me for the you know, so I was kind of the seal the deal to the big three. Like the last, like when you think about it, like, you know, Ray Allen came over, that deal don't get done unless, you know, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So I was a part of that journey, and it felt good. It felt really, really good. You know what I mean? To get drafted, first of all, and then to get drafted, and the team basically was like, "Yo, we have that pick. We want you." And so from there, my basketball journey starts to begin. You know, as soon as I get traded from Seattle to the Celtics.
So you're 22 years old, and suddenly you're playing with some of the biggest players in the entire league, with Paul Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, those guys. What was it like? And let's start at the beginning of your career, like your first NBA games. What was it like being on the floor? Was it extra pressure because you were playing with those soon-to-be legends, or what was it like?
It was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy to the standpoint of the fact that when the trade happened with the big three, the assumption was that, hey, we're trying to win now. And so I got an opportunity to be, you know, front row seat to some really, really, really special players that were trying to make it work. You know, they like, for example, you got KG, who came from Minnesota, all the accolades, and then he comes to Boston, and he's just so giving, you know what I mean? Like, Paul Pierce played his long time in the Celtics and never won. So these Ray Allen, same thing, never won. So these guys came to the Celtics that year ready to win. And so being a young guy, I'm just learning. You know what I mean? And so the learning curve has to be sped up real fast as a rookie, because these guys are veterans and they already know how to play winning basketball. And so that was a tough part, because Doc was on my ass every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was a rookie on that team for 3 years. So it's just like, the process was just beautiful, because I got to see how to play really championship basketball early.
Now, since you are a 90s kid, everybody in the 90s grew up with NBA trading cards. And now you're in the NBA, and there are Glen Davis NBA trading cards. When was the first time you saw a trading card of yourself, and what did it feel like?
It felt good. It was my rookie. It was the rookie kind of introduction to rookies, like right when all the rookies come in and they go and take pictures and stuff like that. And when I first seen my first card, I damn near almost cried, because it was so like I used to beat people up for those things. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to try to I used to steal little packs of cards from the store just to have the best cards. Had it in my little binder with my little folder. You know what I'm saying? So to see that come around, and now I'm a player on the card, was just this unbelievable feeling.
Oh man, I basically know exactly what you're talking about with stealing cards from the store. That is bad. Okay.
I know.
So, but talking again about your rookie season. So you guys won the championship in your rookie season. There are so many players who play like 15 years in the NBA, didn't win a championship, and you win the championship in your rookie season. That must be so surreal. Were you even able to understand what just happened, or did it take some time?
I didn't understand until I was on the float. That whole year was just like, oh, I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be in this moment. And really, I was lucky as hell. I was so lucky, to be able to catch the eye of whoever drafted me, Doc and Danny, and to be a part of something just so bigger than self was just unbelievable. So the process was just so crazy, because I got to see guys like KG work extremely hard. Guys like Ray Allen work extremely hard. You know what I mean? I got to see all that firsthand. And I didn't realize it, how big that year was until I was on the floor with my shirt off. And I was just like, this is huge. This is crazy. I can't believe it. And that summer, I started to work extremely hard to make my game better.
That would actually be my next question, your second season, but I have a question that just came to mind. Since you played for the Celtics, and the Celtics have such an incredible history with some of the greatest players who ever played in the NBA, who of the legends like Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, who of those guys were still around when you were a rookie, or were none of them even present?
A lot were JoJo White, Dana Barros, a lot of guys that played for the Celtics and was around. I got to see John Havlicek. I got to see Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, all those guys that started the tradition of Celtics basketball. And now, I think about it I won a championship and will ever be part of the Celtics history. You know what I mean? When I think about it, you don't know nobody named Big Baby. You know what I mean? So I got my opportunity to stick with especially with the Celtics. So it was just a great feeling. You know what I mean? To be around those players, and now to be one of those players. I won a championship with the Celtics.
Now, in your second season, you received a lot more playing time and your stats went up. So what did change from your rookie season to your second season? Was it just the work in the summer, or were you more confident? What was it?
The work in the summer plus opportunity. I think when KG went down and the playoffs happened, I really got an opportunity to like play at a high level, in the playoffs. And that kind of changed my mindset. It kind of made me feel like, yo, I belong in this league and I could play in this league. And it felt good.
You played a couple of years for the Celtics and then you played for the Orlando Magic. How tough was it leaving Boston?
It was so tough. But first of all, because I always thought, when I got there that I was never leaving, that I was good enough to stay, right? And then I leave, and then I go to a Stan Van Gundy, who's a great coach offensively, but defensively, he does things different, So it's like I was used to winning basketball, and then I come over, to a whole nother program, and I try to apply the same things, but it didn't work because, everybody's their own man. Stan has his own ways in that he wants to do it. And it was tough for me to deal with that type of experience, that type of feeling, because I thought I knew what championship ball was because I won. And I wanted to take that experience over to Orlando, and it just didn't happen the way I wanted it to because of just people are different. You know what I mean? But it was tough coming to an organization that hasn't won a championship, don't understand, what it takes in a way, don't understand because they've never been there. You know what I mean? Guys that's been there that understands the level of like intensity, the way things need to be done, just details, you know what I mean? So I had to change myself a lot going over there. Because now I was more in a leadership role.
By the way, here's your prize for the most diplomatic answer I ever had. Quote, Stan Van Gundy does it different? Instead of saying he's not a good defensive coach. But okay, we just leave.
He's really not. He's an offensive genius. Like his defensive mindset, is different. You know what I mean? Like, I think offensively, he knows everything. He knows, I've been, but defensively, I think he's not as strong.
All right. Now, in your second season with the Magic, which was your best season so far, you were averaging, I think, like 15 points, 7 rebounds. Was that a confirmation that you really could play on a high level?
Yeah, I was excited about that. Like, you know what I mean? When I got a chance to really, really play and then I was playing at a high level like that, it was exciting for me to see finally like all the hard work I put in and just the opportunity that came to me. It was exciting to see that. But I got injured that year and then it just took a turn from there.
Mm-hmm. So what is the most positive thing that you take from your time with the Magic?
The most positive thing I took out of the Magic is that everything's not going to be the same as, what you thought it was going to be, like the Celtics. You got to be able to adjust and adapt and stay focused in spite of what's going on around you.
Which is not easy.
What is not easy. And so, if I was to just say something to my, Orlando, person, I would say that, try to control the things that you can control and understand that basketball is a business.
You then joined the Los Angeles Clippers. How many mad phone calls did you get from your Boston peers?
I didn't really get a lot of mad phone calls because at the time, Doc was looked up as a great coach, and it was like, wow, you're reuniting back with him. You know what I mean? And I thought it was going to be great too, but it was just a different experience. You know what I mean? I think what we went through with the Clippers, was a little bit like a crazy circus show, you know, in a way. You know, you got to think about Donald Sterling at the time.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? I was a part of that, or I was a part of that, you know, that Clipper team that had to, you know, and look at that and embrace that and, you know, try to fight through that. So there was a lot of things that, you know, Clipper-wise that just wasn't, you know, put together internally the right way, you know, and you could tell. So, but I had a great time in LA. I had a wonderful time with the Clippers, you know, because I'm an entertainment guy, you know, so I love the atmosphere, you know, as far as what the Clipper organization brought. But as far as my career there, you know, it was really, really short. And then my role was different. You know, I was kind of a guy coming off the bench, you know what I mean? And that's just the way it is.
Now, when you look back at your NBA career, who is the toughest matchup you ever had?
Oh, man. Rashard Lewis. You know, he was a guy that was so tough for me to guard because he was a range shooting four, right? You see these bigs right now that are shooting threes. I think he's one of the originators that made the transition of 6'10" guy that can put it on the floor, stretch the floor. The biggest things that I used to have difficulty with him is the fact that with Turkoglu and Dwight in a pick and roll, right?
Mm.
The 4 and the 5 are connected. So when Dwight goes in a pick and roll, Perk has to be up to help, right, to guard Turkoglu. I have to pull in to bump Dwight. So imagine the pick and roll, I got to bump Dwight, and now on the flight of the ball, I have to close out to Rashard Lewis.
Almost impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, he's either you know, if you don't close out, he's gonna shoot the 3, and if you close out too fast, he's gonna try to go right by you. You know, and so those things were difficult for me as a big, you know what I mean, guarding those big guys like that can stretch the floor.
Who hated guarding you?
Oh my God, I feel like everybody hated guarding me because I was just a worker, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was a bulldozer. I was get out of my way. Like, I think everybody hated guarding me.
All right.
'Cause I was a hack. I'll foul you with my belly. Like, I'm bodying up. I'm gonna bother you because I can't jump high. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't jump high, you know, so I got to do the things below the rim well.
All right. Now, while I was researching for this interview, I came across something which I couldn't believe. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to get straight to the point. Is it true that you wrestled Shaquille O'Neal and you lifted him?
When I was younger, Shaq and I were really close. You know, he was a mentor. I knew his mentor. And we're eating spaghetti in our mentor's house. And he's like, let's go out and wrestle. I'm like, what? Okay. So I'm trying to keep him down. Boom. Next thing you know, boom, slam him. He on the ground. I'm on top of him. You know, I didn't want to hurt him, so they made me get up off him.
Oh my gosh! I really believe that it was physically impossible to lift Shaq. I thought it couldn't be done.
Nah, it's not impossible. You can lift Shaq.
Well, I can't, but good for you, man. So, so you kept yourself pretty busy since your NBA career is over. You played successfully in the Big Three. Before the interview, I already told you that you were one of the, at least in my opinion, one of the best players in the Big Three. And I love the way how you back players down, then you do the quick spin move, and they always look stupid when you go around them. But there's also some other projects that you have. You have a YouTube channel and an upcoming podcast. What can you tell me about those two things?
Yes, man. It's the Big Baby Show, and it's a variety show where I go around and I do fun and exciting things. I have dope interviews from all of my friends that growing up playing basketball that I've established during the years. And it's a show that's basically catered to the basketball world and just also just funny and informative things. And I love it because, you know, people be like, oh man, like basketball players be acting tough. And I'm the vulnerable guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the one that you can make fun of and have fun with in so many ways. So I think it's a great show that's going to, you know, be awesome for the people to watch.
Okay, and where can they watch it?
You can watch it on YouTube. You can subscribe to the Big Baby Show. You can catch it on YouTube. My IG, GB Baby Davis. You can catch all the info on there. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and the podcast will be available when?
We're gonna try to drop probably the first of the year. So next 2 weeks we should have some real good gas coming up there, man. Some good stuff.
Sounds great, man. Glen, man, it was a pleasure having you on the show. You are indeed not only a funny guy, but you are a cool dude, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
And I'm 2 years older than you. I never say that to younger guys, but you are a cool dude, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.